Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Goddess Energy 333. Um, I going live today because today is 11/11/2022 or 11/11/22. And 11/11 basically they're pillars, they're doorways. And I wanted to come on and explain what 11/11 is and my door, my choice. So let's start with what 11 is. And they're pillars. They're basically, I believe, now you could have your own belief, but I believe that this day, on top of many days that we've been having, but this day is we all been going through emotions. We all been going through our choices thinking I'm sure I'm not the only one since before the full moon started, and then the day of the full moon, excuse me, it was so much emotion, so much thoughts that was going through my head. To me, I was going to come on the day before the full moon, the day of the full moon, but I was never able to upload anything. And maybe because at the time I was too much in my own emotions. I believe everyone was. I think everyone was rethinking all of their choices, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. So now that we have to pick a choice, to me, this is what the 11s are. They're pillars, they're doorways. Which door are you going to go through? Are you going to choose to stay in the way things are right now? Or you're going to choose something else. You're going to choose the unknown, the different. And the unknown, when you choose the unknown, you're choosing yourself. Turn off my coffee maker. When you choose the unknown, you're choosing yourself because there's parts of you that you just never, you don't know, you never experienced yet. So this is why I say this. When I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, and when I was in the East Coast, I bought my things were going well for me. I bought my house and I found parts of me that I did not know I can do. I can build, like actually build things. I built a whole table. I build I built a lot of tables. And I always loved plants. So I was able to fill my home with different plants and outside and inside. I just made this security, this bubble for myself where I was just in my world. And everyone that came to visit me found a place of peace when they come in there. Like they just felt more relaxed, and that was my world. From upstairs to downstairs took bubble baths, everything. I mean, I made this comfortable place for me. And then I decided to move. And because at one point I was thinking to myself, okay, it's time to, well, I didn't think, I thought it to myself, but some sort of energy came, you know, sound came into my head saying it's time for you to not just keep this to yourself. You have to basically um give it out to the world. So I was like, the world is not ready for me. And I enjoy just being me. I enjoy my space. So what I did, I selected someone and basically, you know, just made my focus on that. And after a while, I was like, well, you know what? I'll just move because change needed to happen, but I wasn't sure how to do it because I was not ready for what I'm doing right now. And so I said, okay, well, everything is going well here. I'm just going to go and I'm going to move all the way over to the Pacific Coast. And then when I moved, um, everything was different. Um, Once I got here, when I saw my apartment, I was like, no, no, I'm that part of my life. Hood living ain't for me. All those of you who like the hood and still live in the hood, that's your thing. but it ain't for me. I'm not doing this. No, where I'm living right now, I cannot stand where I'm living right now. And it's not the people around me, it's the environment. It's just the way the mentality is just so not for me. So that hit me when I first came in. You are no longer in Kansas, Dorothy. You are no longer in your bubble. So I said, okay, it's just for 11 months. And then I start to unpack. And then I realize you only pack jeans. You have not packed any shirts. You start work tomorrow. And wow, what are you going to do? I had a pair of scrubs in there. So my first day, I was able to wear my scrubs. But then I realized, okay, all the clothes, because I had a closet full of clothes and this world that I set up for myself. So then I was like, okay, so you don't have that. And then my money was running low because I was going to rent my house out, but that didn't work out. So the money that I was going to rent my house for was going to cover all the bills on the East Coast. And but because of that, I had to rent it for just what my mortgage really is. And so I had to pull money from what I was making here, add to there. So whatever I had left over basically was for my bills here. So now my money got basically locked up. I have no clothes. I hate where I live, and now my money. Then I got to work, and the job that I transferred was a lateral transfer. So the same thing I was doing in the East Coast, I was going to do in the West Coast. I really wanted a supervisor position, but I said, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. When I got there, everybody was at that position. There was no one to lead. There was no one for me to train, to help. The trainer is actually the team leader. Everyone else just had that title for I don't fucking know why. But then I realized like, oh my God, I went back to kindergarten. All the stuff I've been with my job for 15 years and I know so much about my job. I like to learn a lot of things. I like to build on whatever I'm doing, I build on with it. So I basically was like, I can't grow here. Everything that they're doing, I already done. They just basically showing me it in a different color. So if I was doing it in blue, they showed me it in red. So I was like, now I'm back in kindergarten. I don't have my money's been tied up. I don't have my clothing, so I can't express myself. I and I'm living in a place that I don't like. What the fuck? So, of course, my first reaction to most things that when it doesn't go my way is anger. Yeah, Kali came out and I was hot. I was upset. I was like, nah, I did not sign up for this. I literally went to my ancestors and my higher self, like, we did not sign up for this. Fix it. Fix it. Because I'm not doing this. And of course, I was too upset to see. So then I started, I went to work and I shut down. I just went to work and I basically zoned out. I went there and I found myself falling into tears. Like I'd be thinking about it and I started to cry. I felt so disrespected. I felt so like forgotten. And I know who I am. I know my power. How is this happening? So I bust into tears and I don't cry in a job. So I went to my car. And when I went to my car, the sun was rising. That's how early I had to be to work at 4 in the morning. So I was able to see sunrise. So when the sun started to rise, I just started telling the sun all of what's going on and crying to the sun, talking to the sun like the sun is my therapist. Because I just feel when it comes to nature, I just feel that we're the same. And so the sun, of course, is a strong power. It sees all, it shines light on all. So I was just telling it all of my situation and just boohoo crying. And then after I pulled myself together and I started hearing the sun's response. And the sun, and I'm just like listening. I'm like, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right. And the sun basically told me, you're in a 1 year at the age 40. Those are big things. And you are now, so the life that I've made for myself on the East Coast, I am now pulled out because I'm the bottom and I built up this life, built up this bubble. I'm the source of that. And I remove myself from it. Now I'm back at the one and I'm looking back at all the things that I build and I realize that that's there now. There's a whole nother level. So the sun basically told me, you are on a new path and you came in this way too heavy. You got to shed some weight. There's people that basically, so basically the sun told me that there's people that are pulling my energy that don't pay me back. Take back your energy. So I went and I got a list in my mind, a list of people, and I've written up their basically their receipt. And I took each person receipt and the amount of energy that I give them, and I brought it. And they got it. I'm not gonna call them up and be like, "Hey, I did this for you, I did that for you." No, it happened. Let them have it because I wanted to give them it. But now it's time for me to take it back. Take it back. So now I saw all of the people, all of the things and people that I gave my energy to that I was not getting any energy back from it. And I had to let that go. And that caused me to cry even more. This is the most, I don't cry. I'm not a crier. I prefer to cry in the shower and then I step out and keep it moving. So I have this thing I always say, pull yourself together. And in the future recordings, I'll explain to you why. But so these tears I couldn't control. So okay, so that made me even more sad. Now I have a list of people that I give energy to and none of them can help me. Nobody can help me but me. I am here by myself. And the son also told me, you could go back home. Why don't you just go back home? You didn't lose your house. Your house is still there. Go back home. And I said, I don't want to go back home. I choose this. I'm going to complete this. I just don't understand why is this being so hard for me. I'm choosing this. So I can't ask for help from someone else. This is my choice. This is my journey. Asking help someone else for help is going to become their journey. You know, I can't do that. So I decided to keep going. So after with my receipts. And then let me see, I did that and then I decided to meditate. When I go, and so every morning I talked to the sun, boohoo crying. It was like an everyday thing. Boohoo crying, pulled myself together, meditated, went back to work. And then it started to get warmer because I came out in March. So it started to get warmer and it was like end of May. Then on top of that, I really, really missed the people that loved me, the people that was there for me. I really miss them. I'm here completely by myself. So now I'm missing birthdays and stuff like that. So anyway, it started to get warmer and I started to walk. And I have a connection with trees, with plants. We are like this. So the trees are beautiful out here. And I started to walk and I went down blocks and I saw how people created their world, their homes and everything else. Some of it I put on my Instagram. It was just that beautiful. But I touched the trees and I felt the energy from the trees. And the trees gave me back the energy that I lost. So all of those receipts of people, that energy that I gave to the trees were given back to me. Nature was given back to me. So I started meditating in the morning for 5 minutes at work when the sun rise, and then I went and I took a walk for 10 minutes. And sometimes it was like 30 minutes, honestly. and I start to see things more clearly. I got out of my emotions, and the energy now came back to me. So now I start to sit down and ask myself, what is it that I want? So around the time in August, the Lionsgate was the portal, the Lionsgate portal, which is August 8th. And I prepared for the portal. I prepared so much. I was a day ahead. So I did my manifestation on the 7th instead of the 8th. So I was just that ready, but I didn't notice it. So anyway, I did my Lionsgate manifestation. I wrote down what I wanted. I envisioned it. I saw it happen. It was two things that I wrote down, and I also put to be continued. So these two things right now, and I'll once we get that, we will come back in with the next one. So I did that, and then I had my reading from King Simon in the ending of August, September. Yeah, so the ending of August. And on top of that, before I got my reading, um angel numbers, I was seeing 111 from the time I started to work. When I was driving back home, I keep seeing 111. I saw 111 every single day. I saw 333s, sometimes 222s. I also saw um sometimes 222s, 444, 1111, 555. So I saw 555 a lot and 111 a lot. So, I know their angel numbers. So I start to research it, and I was like, well, I understand their angel numbers, but I know they say whatever you're thinking, this is what the angels are trying to tell you. So whatever you're thinking at that moment, this is what they're trying to tell you. So to me, I need more clarity because you could tell me something and I could create something. And if what you're telling me is not to create, it's just to listen, I need to know that. So the angels told me I need to get my angel tarot cards. So I purchased angel tarot cards, tarot cards, sorry, West Indian. So that TH ain't working. So I got my angel tarot cards, and I start using them when I needed clarity. And were they clear? They told me the month of September, sit back. Don't do anything. That is one of the hardest things for me to do is to not do anything. Because when I'm in motion, I'm like this. The angels were like, no, sit back. There was a manager at the job. I applied for a position, but I needed more schooling for the position. But the manager kept me in mind. So there was a position open up and I was going to apply for it. And I was like, I'm going to message him, letting him know I'm going to apply for it. And the angels was like, go to your tarot cards. So I did pull out three cards, and they basically told me, well, I pulled out one card and like four cards fell out. So they really went in. They basically told me, sit your ass down and don't do that. Relax and let us guide you. So I said, okay. So I sat down and I just took the month of September off, basically just let everything flow. And that's what Oshun told me. Oshun came to me around the time I was meditating when I would start talking to the sun. She came more intense. Let go and let grow. That's the main thing that she kept in my head. Let go and let grow. So I said, okay, I'm not gonna do anything. And then after that, I got my reading with King Simon right before it was the end of August into September. That's when I was going to message. September didn't start yet, but the energy was already coming. So I got my reading, and the reading basically told me what I already knew. See, I already know I have a lot of power. I already know my abilities. I didn't think the world is ready for so much. When I got my reading from Sister Myra, I was like, um, y'all know, yeah, did y'all read this? I was looking at the universe like, oh, excuse me. So it's like when I was a kid, I used to love the X-Men. Every Saturday morning, me and my bowl of cereal watched X-Men. And I remember when I was watching it as a kid, I was like, they crazy. Let me be an X-Men. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't be an X-Men. And but now Sister Myra basically told me I'm an X-Men. And I was like, no, I got kids. I can't be this. I can't have this much power. I got kids. I'm married. I'm trying to buy a house. Like, no, y'all, this is not going to be right now. So when I had my King Simon reading, the universe basically remind me of that day. And I'll speak more about it in another episode. But it's basically it's time. But King Simon reading showed me how to express the energy, the energy that I have, what I'm supposed to give out. And so my numerology reading helped to explain how to express my astrology reading. So I got the answer and now I know how to do it. So I said, okay. So I said, this is, and then I did my angel card reading when they told me to sit back, chill. The month of September, don't you do nothing. So I sat back and I chilled. And after I did a lot of walks, I did my regular stuff, my meditation. I walked a lot, helped me clear my mind, and I walked in nature. And I was by the water a lot. So it would help me clear my mind. And I got into there were certain crystals that came to me. I got a rose quartz that really, really did help. And so all of the energy and everything else was just working with me. So I end up one day I was walking. It was a Monday, but I was off on Mondays. And I got a call from that manager. He said, hey, that position you applied for, you want to come and get an interview. But that day I took the longest walk. I was just in nature. I even met someone that did crystals and I bought a crystal that day. It was just like the day was just laid out for me. And I came back to where the water was and I was sitting down and I got the phone call and he was like, hey, you could come in for an interview today if you want to. And I said, oh, well, yeah, if you give me some time, I'll be there. He said, okay. So I went, did the interview, and I just let everything be. I did my best. I felt it's for me, but what is for me will be for me. Now, after I had that King Simon reading, the reading basically told me this position will be my last position at this company because my path in the process I will have to go where my path needs me. Now that I am stepping into who I am, I have to, so I basically realized that. Now, I don't know, I know when, but I'm not going to say it. So I was like, okay, the thing that I was like this when I came in here, just focusing. I'm laser. I have a laser, like I just go for what I want. All these blocks. I don't see nothing else, don't hear nothing else. I only see what I want to do. And I mean, I could create it like that. So, what the angels were telling me, what my higher self was telling me is take off those blinders. This is holistic. You have to see the whole picture. What you do, little do you know, affects a lot. It's a lot of change. And if you're going to step into it, you need to see the whole picture. So I was like, okay. And then I saw the whole picture and got the position. But when I got the position now, if I would have got that position when I first came in to the West Coast, I would have just kept going like the same thing I did on the East Coast. But I had to grow. I shed so many layers of me. I shed so much weight. I was giving away energy. So basically, the sun told me that you are going into another realm. You have to move, you have to fly. And you can't fly because one, you got too much weight. So you need to shed that weight. And two, you need to you got no energy because you gave all that energy away. So I started to build the energy. I started to lose the weight. And when I say the weight, not physically, but the weight of the material things that I feel, I had to figure it out because it's a new me. I cannot bring that old me. So I shed all of that skin. I shed all of those layers. And now the energy, my rocket ship is ready, is getting ready. And today, this portal, this to the doors that I'm choosing the unknown. The unknown is you. You could choose the other door where you could keep things the same way all the time, or you can choose the unknown. You could choose the next level, and the unknown is scary. There's still things that I'm gonna have to go through that I'm gonna have to level up on. It's gonna come at me like this. Doing this podcast was is not easy because editing ain't shit. I am telling you that. I hate it. And the fact that I'm going live right now and I'm gonna probably go back and be like, why didn't you record this? But anywho, um, so it's not easy stepping into yourself. It's not easy putting in the work to yourself. That's why a lot of people distract themselves with their family, their kids, their job, their friends, the news. Oh, so much of us with that damn news. So we're so distracted. We choose to be so distracted because taking responsibility for self is a lot. Taking responsibility for who you are and what you want is a lot. So it's better to just basically look at everything else but you. But you're only doing yourself harm. In the end, no matter one of these lifetimes, you're gonna have to choose you. You're gonna have to take that chance, you know. And if you scrape your knee, you got another knee. If you don't, then you learn not to scrape those knees anymore. Then you do all of the work. And that's part of my path is to explain how I got to where I got to. And every time I my world changes and become more, I will show you and I will talk to you about how my way, how I got to where I got to. And I always felt like no one was like me. I just felt like I am the most weirdest, most I may look like the regular people, but inside of me is a whole different universe. Like I go deep. I go into I love to deep dive into things, metaphysics, herbology. This is my world. I'm a creator. I will constantly create. And I'll talk more about that in other episodes. But I just want to let you know how my path got to my door and why I'm choosing the door of the unknown, which is self. And I'm going into my subconscious and I'm going to let my subconscious be my guide, my higher self be my guide. And we're going to work it through, we're going to figure it out. But so, which door are you going to choose? And don't feel like if you choose to stay the same, that you are doing harm. Don't matter what you're gonna get there when your time comes. But if you feel in your heart and in your mind that you need to choose the door of the unknown, but you're afraid, I guess me being on here showing you my path and explaining my steps and things that I've went through probably will help you to feel that you're not alone. And when it comes to fear, like King Simon says, my path, my life path, and all of the things that's with my name and everything else, I got to run towards what makes me afraid. I have to, you know, look at it. That's why I got so much damn energy. I'm so rude. The first thing I do is get upset. I'm ready to fight. I am a warrior at heart. So I'm ready to fight what gets in my way. But there's different way to fight. There's different ways to see things. So, anywho, well, good luck on your door. I guess you sit down and whenever you see this, you'll consider what door you walk through. If you see this today, the universe is really telling you before the end of the day, before the clock hits 11, before the clock hits 12. But anyway, before that happens tonight, consider what door you want to walk through. Go sit in meditation, take a minute, 2 minutes, not a minute, minute's not long enough. Take 5 minutes for yourself in the shower. While you're in the shower, think about it, before you go to sleep. Think about it. If some of you are capable of having free time to meditate and close your eyes and think about what you really want, then do it. Take 5 minutes for yourself. Sheesh. But anyway, good luck in your door. I'll see you next time for more walking through door things. Have a good day. Bye.